Hey guys, we are Ken and Sarah, and for the last 10 months we have been converting an old FedEx van into a camper. And since we've been quarantined for the last month, we've had a lot more time to finish projects. So we're going to show you today how we made this bench seat for our van.
Alright, so here is where we think we're going to put a bench seat. Kind of trying to visualize it right now. It's going to slide out, so it's going to be about 4 feet long. And then it's going to slide out to a kind of a mini bed, not a full-size bed, but enough to kind of stretch your legs out. And it'll go up to a kitchen counter here, which we're working on. I think I'm going to put it right about there. We have this little piece of wood here that was just something we used to cover up a metal piece of the flooring frame. And maybe I'll use that spot as a a ledge or a shelf or something to put drinks on or something, and leave some room for the seat to swivel because we're going to get a swivel seat eventually. I want to make sure there's enough room for that to swivel around. Materials for the project. I got about 8 2x2s. These guys right here. I got about 7 or 8 1x4s, which I'll use for the slats. There you go. Tried to get the least warped ones I could find. So what we'll do first is we'll start building a frame. You always want to use your original piece to measure a duplicate instead of measuring, just so it's a little more true. So we're going to start with that as our frame. And we'll add some legs, flip it over, add some support. So the tools we're using for this one is the Craig Pocket Jig. We'll set this to 2x2s, but they're actually about 1.5 inches, so 1.5 inches. And Craig pocket hole screws. There's always a chart on the back if you don't know what kind of screws to get. We got 1.5 inches wood, so the 2.5 screws. That's what we got. I don't have a clamp for these like they advertised, so I came up with my own method. The foot method. Add pressure. Actually, almost forgot, we gotta change this to the appropriate size. So it comes with this fancy tool here. We'll use that. I can't really do it without my hands, but we'll loosen that up and fix it. Alright, a lot better. Crisis averted. Back to my redneck plan. Voila. Alright, so there we have it. There's our base. Screwed and glued. Perfect. So I got my legs cut. 18.5 inches. I want the bench seat to be 20 inches tall. So these are about 1.5 inches thick, so I went with 18.5 to make it 20. I'll get these in all 4 corners and then get some support in between. So the width of the bench is 23 inches. So these pieces each are about 1.5 inches wide. So double that and make 3. That'll be 20 inches in between. That'll give us perfect 90-degree angles here, and everything will be even. Got some supports added. Let's flip it over, see how it looks. For the record, I've never built a bench in my life. I'm kind of winging it. So don't really have a ton of plans. Add a little support in the back. Just starting to wobble a little bit, but as you can see, pretty sturdy right now. Not sure the next step. I'm gonna do some thinking and figure it out. So what I've done is I built this this front frame here. This will be the portion that slides out. So I built it the same as my other one here. Once I get my slats on, this piece should pull out. I'm a little concerned about the size of my slats. I got 1x4s. I'm not sure if that's the right size. I may have had to go in a little thinner so I can have more pieces for more support. With this way, I have to have a pretty large gap in between each one so the other slats can come in. So I'm gonna cut them, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, I'll go back to Menards and get some new wood. This stuff was not that expensive. I think these sheets were 98 cents for an 8-footer. So no big loss there, but we'll try it out and see how it looks. So bad. We're gonna drill this initial one down here and work our way down. So I'm not sure if this is enough spacing or not. I'm kind of just going off what I watch on the internet and some videos. It's about 1/4 inch. Not sure if when you pull it out they'll get kind of rubbed together or stuck together. I think I'm going to try it and see how it looks or works. And if not, I'll have to give some more space. But I'm trying to give as much support in there as possible because I did use the wider strips. So I got my front piece clamped on here so it's tight as possible. Also, a big shout out to Adventure Van Man on YouTube. This is who I watch to kind of get the idea of this and kind of instructional tutorial on how to do it. So big shout out to him, Adventure Van Man. He's got a lot of good videos, very easy to understand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start attaching these to the slide out portion, and then we'll give it a try. Turned out okay. Looking back, I wish I would have used thinner strips. The problem I had before is they kept splitting, so I went with these to avoid splitting, but now I kind of wish I didn't. But I think with some cushioning and stuff, you're still gonna have some good support, especially when it's closed in. Obviously, you will have good support. But what I think I need to do. See how these are kind of floating because they're not attached to anything. I think I need to make another one of these back frames in the back. Stop it right here. Screw those into it. And then when I pull it out, it should automatically stop right around there. I think I'm gonna try that. Let's see. All right, so looking around my garage here, I found a solution. I which I think will work. I found these L brackets there, there, and there. I attached them to the main piece. And then when you slide this in, so it's out, it's in, you just got to give it a little lift at the end. Maybe I'll do a little handle. And they rest on top of those brackets. And now there's no sagging. So when it's just a bench seat, it's got the maximum support. And bonus, when you pull it out, that piece that I attached stops it from completely coming off, so that's the maximum that you can extend it.
That's what she said.
Cool. So I didn't film much today, but what I kind of came up with for the dog section of under this bench was just a little box made of 1/2-inch plywood. Didn't really have a plan, didn't know if it was worth filming, so I kind of just worked on it, dinked around, and experimented a bit. Went through a lot of trial and error, just ended up making this little box. I got a couple pieces gluing down there for a trim piece. Some breathing holes, I guess, for the dogs so they can see out to the front. And I'll probably drill some holes up here so it can be well ventilated, and then use some wood filler and fill in all those holes from those pocket holes. It's coming along. I think the front will be a, Sarah wants a sliding door, so we'll try a sliding door and try to figure that out. So I'm painting the left side there white, and Sarah wants just polyurethane on the dog section, so we're gonna try that. Coming along pretty good. A little hard to see because it's on its side, but that's probably not gonna help you either, huh?